Hey there, I am Russ Horn and welcome back to this page. Today, I'm going to cover another free system that you can download right here on this page. I'm going to cover in this video how to install it and how to trade it. Now, this system has served me well and it has made a lot of traders money, and I want to show you how to trade this system. Now, you can also grab my other free system, the Forex Power Pro, below on this page. Try them both out. Once you have, please do leave a comment below, as there are some fantastic prizes up for grabs for you today. Now, these will only be around for another day or so please take advantage of them while you can. All right, let's get started with the installation. First, I'm going to click on the download button and get my zip file. And from there, I'm going to show you how to install a system onto your MetaTrader charts using the auto installer, or how to install it manually. All right, let's get started. All right, so I've downloaded the zip file. This is the C Trading System zip file. Now, before you even get started, I just want you to be aware that I'm using something called WinRAR. This allows me to open the zip file and manipulate the files from within that zip file. Now, you may not be able to do this. You might need to extract the files once we open the zip file. So if that's the case, then pause the video and do that. But what I am going to do from here is open the zip file. And on the inside, you're going to see a manual. This is the PDF for the C Trading System, and an exe file. This is the auto installer. I'm going to show you how to use the auto installer, but I'm also going to show you how to install the C Trading System onto your platform without using the exe file. You may have an antivirus that does not like the exe file, so I am going to show you how to install the template manually without the need for the exe file. First though, we're going to use the auto installer. And to do that, I'm simply going to double click the exe file. Now that I have this installation wizard, I don't need the zip file anymore, so I'll just X that. And from here, I'm going to click next. And I get this error message because I have a MetaTrader chart open. So I'm going to close the MetaTrader chart. And then I'm going to click OK. And now I'm going to click I accept the agreement and click next. And by default, it's going to look for every platform you have on your computer and it will select them. Now you can unselect any platform you don't want it installed on. I'm just going to leave mine selected because I want them on everything. And then I'll click next and next again. And now we're installing and click next and we are finished. So I will click finish and I'm going to reopen that platform that I had closed. And from here, I'm going to go to my templates. I'll choose load template. I'm going to scroll down to look for the C Trading System, which is right here. Click open, and I have the C Trading System on my charts. Now I am going to start all over again, and I'm going to show you how to install this template manually. So we'll go back to the zip file, open up that zip file. And with this zip file, you are going to see that there is a templates file folder. If I double click it, we have the C Trading System TPL file. I'm going to need to put that into my MetaTrader charts platform. So the way we do that is on the MetaTrader charts, click file in the upper left-hand corner, and then click open data folder. And it's going to open the folder where all of the MetaTrader files are kept. So what I want to do is simply drag and drop this TPL file into this MetaTrader templates file folder. So let's do that. Click and drag it into that templates. Now I've already got it in there because we did the original installation, but I will replace the destination file. That file is uploaded. I do not need these anymore. I'm going to close my MetaTrader chart. I'm going to reopen my MetaTrader chart. And with that, we'll go back to our templates and load template. Again, we're going to look for that C Trading System template, click it and click open. And we have the C Trading System template on our charts. Now let's get into the rest of the video where I show you how to use the C Trading System. Okay, now that we've got the system installed onto our platform, I want to show you exactly how this system works. Now, if you're not able to install the system onto a MetaTrader charts, I will break down all the indicators, what the settings are, so you can use this system on any platform that you want. We are going to take a look at the 4 indicators, and then from there, I'll show you what we're using these indicators for and how we are going to be using them to trade this system. So the first thing you're going to notice is on the screen, on the chart where the candles are, there are two moving averages. We've got a green moving average and a red moving average. The green moving average is the 3-period exponential moving average, and the red moving average is the 10-period exponential moving average. We are looking at these moving averages for crossovers. We want to see that the moving averages either cross up for a buy trade or cross down for a short trade. Now, the second indicator we have is under the chart. This is the standard MACD. Now, if I click on this, we'll take a look at the properties for this one. The settings are 5 and 13. These are the two different exponential moving average settings, and the signal line for this is 1. We want the signal line to hug the MACD. We don't want the signal line to be separated from the indicator itself. So we've got the MACD with the 5, 13, and 1 setting. And finally, underneath, we've got an RSI, and the setting for the RSI is 13. And we're going to set this one to typical. Generally, the RSI is set to the close price. For this, I set it to the typical price because it is a little bit of a smoother RSI. And when it comes to this 50 level, we're not going to find that we get so much chop back and forth if we use the typical setting. And I find with a typical setting, we are not going to get delayed signals. We are just going to get more accurate signals. All right. So now we've got the 3 different sets of indicators. What we are simply looking for are crossovers. This is a crossover system. Now, I've had a lot of requests for a crossover system. A crossover system is one of the simplest systems to trade and can have a pretty high probability when it comes to trading with the trend direction. So we are going to be covering that as well. We're going to be taking these indicators, using different time frames to discover what the trend is, and then trading in the direction of the trend using the crossovers. Now, a crossover is really clear. A crossover is something that is hard to ignore. And when you get a crossover of whether it's the moving averages, whether it's the MACD, whether it's the RSI, they're very clear. They're not something that is ambiguous. You're not going to debate whether or not it is a crossover. Now, with these indicators, they all kind of filter each other. We're going to find that sometimes the crossovers don't happen at the same time. We're looking for the crossover of the moving averages. We're looking at the crossover of this 0 line with the MACD. So we're looking for this red line to cross up and below this 0 line. We've got this white center line. So when the MACD crosses up, that's a buy. When the MACD crosses down, that's a sell. And when it comes to the RSI, we're looking at a cross of this 50 level. So we have the RSI crossing above this 50 level, and we have the RSI crossing below this 50 level. And again, they don't all happen at the same time. We see an example of that right in here, where we have the crossover of the moving averages is right here. We have the crossover of the MACD is right here. And we have the crossover of the RSI is right here. Now, we are going to see that at times that we have crossovers of one indicator, but the other indicators or one other indicator does not cross over. So we don't have a trade. So they do filter each other, and they pay attention to different aspects of the market, which is really important when we're looking at trying to get the best signals out of a trading system. So as I mentioned, what we are looking for is a trend. Now, we are going to use 2 different time frames to trade this. We have a higher time frame and we have the current time frame. Now, this is not going to be confusing. It's really simple, really straightforward. So I don't want you to worry about this. We are going to pick a time frame that we want to trade. In this example, I'm taking a look at the 4-hour time frame, which means that on the next higher time frame, in this case, it'll be the daily time frame, I want to establish a trend direction. When I know what the trend direction is on the higher time frame, I know what direction to be trading on the lower time frame. And I'll show you why this is important. So let's go to that next higher time frame. Right now, we're looking at the 4-hour. This is the time frame that I want to trade. So I'm going to take a look at the daily, and I'm going to see what the trend is. And I'll show you exactly what I'm looking for when it comes to the trend. So if I go to the daily time frame, I'm looking for all 3 of these indicators to be underneath their respective lines or have crossed down. What I'm seeing is right here. I'm going to draw a line on the chart. is we have our first cross down. The moving averages cross down. The 3 is underneath the 10. Here we have the MACD below the 0 line, and on this one candle we have the RSI crossing below the 50 line. So we have a downtrend, and that downtrend remains right up until here. So we have at this point a cross up of the moving averages. Now it only stays that way for 2 candles, but we have a cross up of the moving averages. So at this point, all 3 sets of indicators don't agree, but in between, all 3 sets of indicators are saying that we have a downtrend. Now that downtrend resumes when we get that cross down. So from here on, we have again a downtrend. So I'll get rid of these because we're just going to take a look at the most recent parts of the chart. So from here, we've got a downtrend. The 3 again is underneath the 10. So we have resumed that downtrend. The MACD is underneath the 0 line, and the RSI is underneath the 50 level. So we can see that right at the very end, we have that downtrend intact. Again, all 3 of those requirements are met for the downtrend. So now I'm going to go back to the 4-hour time frame. This is the time frame that we are trading. And we can see from right here, this line on the chart is where the downtrend started on that higher time frame. So from here, I want to only be looking for short trades. And those short trades are going to move much better than the long trades. Now, of course, we're going to see some long trades that do move really well enough to potentially trade. But over time, you're going to find that when you are in a trending situation, generally the bulk of the trades that are going to move well are going to move in the direction of that higher time frame trend. And the little fake out trades are going to be the ones that move against the trend. So right now, I'm looking at the current section of the chart, and I'm going to be looking for a trade. So we have at this point here a section of the market where the moving averages have crossed up. So we've got the 3 above the 10. We've got the MACD also crossing up above the 0 line, and we've got the RSI crossing up above its 50 level. We don't want to be making any moves at this point, so we're simply waiting for the indicators to cross down. Now, with that being the case, on this one candle right here, we see that we have all of the criteria met. Now, with this MACD, this might be a little bit of a gray area. This MACD looks like it's right on the line. So if that is the case, I want to wait till the next candle. This next candle gives us unquestionable crossovers to the downside. We have the 3 EMA underneath the 10 EMA. We've got the MACD underneath the 0 line, and we also have the RSI underneath the 50 level. Right, so that is the signal that we're looking for. We want to take a short position at this time. This is our signal to go short. So I am going to place a sell order at the close of that candle. When that candle closes, all of the criteria is met, and I am good for a short trade. So this brings me to the next thing. Where is the stop loss going to be? Now remember, this candle is closed. This candle has just opened. What I want to do in order to place my stop loss is count back the last 3 closed candles. So it would be 1, 2, and 3. These 3 candles right here would be the last 3 closed candles. And I want to see what the highest high of these 3 closed candles are. And that is going to be this candle right here, candle number 3, 1, 2, 3. And my stop loss is going to go just above the high of that candle. So now I've got my stop loss placed. I want to know where my take profit should be. Now I'm going to measure this with my crosshairs. The distance from the entry to the stop loss is 116 pips, 117 pips. So I want to at least go for 1-to-1. If you're not sure how far to go, the default will be 1-to-1. So whatever your stop loss is in pips, that's what I want to do for my take profit as well. So I'm going to take my target and I'm going to put it to 1-to-1. So it'll be the same number of pips as my stop loss. So if I measure this, we should be pretty close. We're looking at 127 as opposed to 116. So I'm a little bit further than 1-to-1, which is fine. I always do encourage a little bit more than your stop loss. Now, by default, I like to encourage at least 10%. So if you have a 100 pip stop, I'd like to at least get 110 pips as far as the profit target goes. But again, if you're uncomfortable with how far your extended target should be, just start with the 1-to-1 and we'll go from there. This system wins more than half of its trades, so you are ultimately going to make money as long as you don't mess up your stop loss. So that is a short trade. Let's take a look at another short trade. This is a 1 hour time frame. So I'm going to use this 1 hour time frame as my higher time frame. From here, I'm going to discover a trend. I want to see that all the indicators are trending down or showing us that there is a short trend. And then I'm going to go down to the 15-minute and I'm going to look for a trading opportunity. So in the middle of the chart, and we could use any of these examples in here. We could use this one, we could use this one, we could use this one. There are so many different short examples. When we have a downtrend, we'd simply be looking at the lower time frame for those trading opportunities. All right, so I'm going to mark off on the chart where that downtrend starts. So right here, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Right here, we've got the beginning of that downtrend. And again, we've got the 3 EMA below the 10 EMA. We've got the MACD below the 0 line, and we've got the RSI below the 50 level. This is the first candle where all three of those things happen together. So they don't have to happen at the exact same time, but we do need to see the first instance where they all are bearish. And this is going to be that instance. And I'm going to mark another level here where the moving averages cross up. So right from here to here, we have a downtrend. Now, if I go to the 15-minute time frame, this will be the lower time frame, the one that I'm actually going to trade. And let's find those two lines. So we've got the first line here, this is where that downtrend starts on the 1 hour time frame, and this is where that downtrend ends. So what we're looking for are short opportunities. Just zoom out a little bit. We're looking for short opportunities from here to here. And we have a short opportunity here, and we have a short opportunity right in here. And we can see that we have potentially a long market movement, but the market just doesn't go anywhere. Because again, we are looking at a market that is going down. And here we'd have a long opportunity in here, but because we are in a higher time frame downtrend, we could see that this just doesn't go anywhere. This would have been a losing trade. So that's why we're focusing on the trades in the higher time frame trends direction. So let's look at the first trading opportunity. It's going to be right in here. So let's zoom in. I'm going to mark this off and I'm going to zoom in so we can see this close up. So this becomes the first trading opportunity. Now we're taking a look at the different indicators. We have the moving averages moving up. So we've got the 3 crossing above the 10. So on this one white candle right here, we have the potential for the start of an uptrend. Now we have the MACD remaining below the 0 line this whole time. We've got the RSI remaining below the 50 level this whole time. So what we're looking for now, because all 3 sets of indicators aren't in agreement, we're looking for all 3 sets to come back into agreement. And that happens on this candle right here. This gray candle gives us that shorting opportunity. The 3 EMA crosses below that 10 EMA, and that gives us that short. The moving average indicators are now in a line with the MACD, which is very bearish, and the RSI, which also is very bearish. The MACD is below 0, the RSI is below 50. So we want to take a short position on this one candle. So I'm going to mark this off. This is where the entry is going to be at the close of this candle and the open of the next candle. Now, with that being the case, where do I want to put my stop loss? I'm going to count back 3 closed candles. 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to put my stop loss above the highest high of those 3 candles, which would be candle number 3. It's not always going to be candle number 3. It might be that first candle, maybe the middle candle, but in this case, it's candle number 3, and that gives us our stop, which also will give us our take profit. Now, this one does not win until we get over here. Because this is a sell trade, you have to remember that the market has to move below your exit by whatever the spread is. So if the spread on this one is 2 pips, the price has to get below your exit level by 2 pips. A lot of people think their brokers are ripping them off by getting them out of a trade too early when they hit the stop, or getting them out of a trade too late when the market hits their take profit. But this is only on sell trades. It's never on buy trades. It's only on sell trades. And that's because of the bid-ask price difference, and the spread. So the only thing you have to remember is in your sell trades, the price has to get just a little bit below your take profit in order to get you out. And in this instance, it'll be this one candle right here, more than likely. This candle will get you out of the trade. And it is a nice, clean, successful trade because we are trading in the direction of the trend. All right, so let's get rid of these and look at a couple of long trade examples. So the first thing we want to do is take a look at a time frame. Now, it doesn't matter if you're looking at the higher time frame first or the current time frame, the one that you actually want to trade. But let's take a look at the daily. I want to see on the daily time frame what the trend is because I want to take a trade on the 4-hour chart. All right, so what I'm seeing is a couple of trends in here. We've got a trend that starts here and moves up to here. So let's start at the beginning of this one trend, which would be right here. If I zoom in, when I look at this previous candle here, we have the 3 crossing above the 10. We've got the RSI just crossing above the 50, but that MACD, it looks questionable. Is it right on the line or is it crossed up above it? Well, if I take this next one, then there's no question at all. We know that at this point we are in a technical uptrend. A technical uptrend is when all the indicators agree. All right, so we've got a technical uptrend at this point. Now I'm going to go down to the 4-hour time frame and let's find that line. This is where I'm going to start looking for opportunities to go long. So if I zoom out, we can see that, zoom out even further. We can see that as the market moves, the biggest moves are in that trending direction. We're having these big market moves in the trending direction. So let's pick one. Let's take a look at cross up. Well, we've got lots to choose from. So let's look at one of the first ones here. So with this one, I'm going to zoom in. Let's take a look at this long trade right here. So again, zoom in a little bit more. And what we're seeing is a crossover. We want to see a crossover up. Now, previous to it, right in here, we see that all the indicators are down. We see that the moving averages are in a downward fashion. We've got the 3 underneath the 10. We've got the MACD underneath the 0 line, and we've got the RSI underneath the 50 level. So we are down in an uptrend. The higher time frame says that we are trending up, so we want to be looking for trades that are moving up. So the next thing we're going to be doing is looking for a signal to go long. Now we have potentially a signal to go long here, but again, the MACD looks like it could be a bit of an issue. We have the 3 above the 10, we've got the RSI above the 50, but that MACD could be on the 0 line. So the next candle is this gray candle here. Now I do not want to be looking to place a trade on a candle that is facing the wrong direction. Now, this is a gray candle and I'm looking for a buy trade. I would like to have a bullish candle before I look for a buy trade. That signal candle should be the same color as the direction I'm trading. So I want a bullish candle to appear. I want that to be the signal candle. That gives us the idea that we have some momentum in our favor. So this is the next bullish candle. This is the one that I'd be using to place a trade. So I'm going to place my entry at the close of that candle, which would be the open of the next. And now I'm going to count back 3 closed candles. 1, 2, 3. And from here, my stop loss goes underneath the lowest low of those 3 candles, which is that signal candle. We've got a wick that drops down below. And from here, I see what the size is of that stop loss and I go for 1-to-1. And now I let this trade play out and we easily hit our 1-to-1. And I'm going to continue looking for trades in that trending direction because we have that higher time frame trend being up. The next trade that comes up is right here. We have the next trade being here. We get this little section right in here where the 3 drops below the 10. So now we have 3 sets of indicators not 100% in agreement. And on this next candle, we get a bullish candle and the moving averages now are in agreement with the MACD and the RSI, giving us that signal to go long. And once again, we are looking to place our entry. We're looking to count back 1, 2, 3. That is going to be our stop loss. And also our target will be 1-to-1. And we let that trade play out to success. These trades are going to be mostly successful. Of course, you're not going to win every trade. It is impossible to do when you're trading Forex. But as long as you are disciplined, letting the stop loss get hit, if it's going to get hit, then you're not going to lose more than the allotted risk amount. Generally speaking, I like to risk 2% on a trade when I do take the trades. And when I lose, I know I'm never going to lose more than 2% on a trade, which means when I win, I'm going to win 2% or 3% or 4%, depending if you go for a little bit more. And because you're going to win more than half of your trades, you are going to end up making money using this. All right. So that is really simple. That is this trading system. I would love for you to try this out, but please try it on a demo account first. I do not want you to risk real money until you know for sure that this system works for you. It is so important to me that you are not risking any money until you are confident that the system works. And with that being said, don't forget that you can download the system installer and the manual by clicking the download link on this page. And don't forget to leave a comment below. By leaving a comment, you do stand a chance to win a very valuable prize. Again, thank you for letting me spend some time with you. And until next time, happy and successful trading.